Okay guys, welcome back to another episode of my single-player Let's Play Technofirma series. I'm mining away. It's a long, slow process. You may notice that my XP is a little bit lower. I died again, and it was the Better Sleeping mod that murdered me this time. There's this thing where sometimes when you fall asleep, you'll wake up with your head in a block, you'll suffocate and die. It's very annoying, but it's actually supposedly been fixed in the next update, which has just been pushed to the Feed the Beast launcher. I'll be doing an update video, and after I've recorded these clips actually. Instead of having to wait days and days for the next episode, though, I thought I would record something useful. Oh, what else? Oh yeah, actually, when I died, I lost my chess piece, so I decided, what the heck, I'll make a bismuth bronze one instead. Hopefully that'll help me survive some of the mobs. But yeah, I'll jump into my creative world and I'll meet you guys there. Okay guys, welcome to one of my creative worlds where I've been messing around with some buildings, and this is where I made the schematics for the pit kiln thing and the stonecutters building as well. I just put a link in a video for someone who asked for the schematics for the buildings I've been using. So I'll actually link that in the description of this video as well. But I thought I should probably show you how to actually use those schematics once you get them in game. If you want to be able to use them, you just copy them straight into your own schematics folder, and they should show up in Schematica, but you're probably going to have to set your hotkeys first. So if you go into options and controls, scroll down a bit, you will find Schematica. Yeah, there we go. So I've got mine set to the mathematical, operators above my number pad, just because I quite liked the layout of that. I don't use those keys for much else. So now I can press those keys, get all my schematics up. You should be able to see those if you copy those into your folder. If you can't find it, just click on that to open your schematic folder and drop the files in there. This will let you save a schematic where you kind of set 2 different points and then save it. This will let you manipulate that schematic once you've chosen one and do a few other bits and pieces as well. But before we do that, there's something else you probably need to set. Go into Mod Options, Schematica, Config, and the printer. Now, I've been messing around with this a little bit off camera because I wanted to figure out the optimal way of building a structure. And honestly, I think having it the way that I have it set in my single player is probably the best bet. So have these set to false. You don't want to destroy blocks. You don't want to place blocks instantly, and I'll show you why in a minute. Well, maybe you could actually, but I'll explain in a sec. I do like place only adjacent because that's going to more or less build it from the ground up, and that's going to be important in Technofirma because of the gravity. So done with that. Okay, we're done. The next most important thing is do this in survival. Yeah, okay, sorry. Game mode S. I had to take a little edit clip there, edit break, because it turned out I was starving when I went back in. There were particles everywhere. Anyway, yeah, do this in survival. If you do it in creative, it'll place everything in the schematic, including the bits you don't want, namely, in our case, lumber, because we're going to try and convert our windmill. So we'll select it. Now, the reason I want to pick this one is because I cannot automatically build this in my world, and you're probably going to have the same problem in yours, because this is made out of shale, mostly. I have schist in my area. I don't have shale, and I want to build this out of schist. So this won't automatically place the schist blocks unless I save the schematic again as something using schist bricks. I've got to really be careful how I say that. So we'll move it around a little bit. Get it central on our little platform here. Let's bring it closer to ourselves. Yep, good. Put it in place. These bits of lumber you can just about see here are structural. They are holding up a lot of the bricks, the blocks above them. Without them, the whole thing is going to cave in on itself, which you'll probably see in a second here. But also the lumber itself is kind of being held up. So if you try placing placing those bits of lumber before there's things to hold them up. They do weird graphical things. They disappear. They'll block you placing other blocks. You won't be able to see them again until you place another piece of lumber in that block and break it. So to keep that under control, we are going to be doing this in survival mode, so it only uses the blocks we actually have. And then the next question is, how do I know which blocks I use? Well, now we've picked our schematic. My minus key does this. You can click this materials button, and it'll give you a full list of everything that's in that schematic. There we go, 115 pieces of lumber. Yeah, we'll have to do those by hand. But we can see here it's mostly shale, shale brick, shale cobblestone, smooth shale. I need to actually get some smooth shale as well. We'll do that in a second. Yep, so I placed some chests. We go into creative mode, shale, get ourselves some smooth shale or whatever else we need. We get those in our inventory. Let's go back to survival. Perfect. Grab a load of building materials. I've kind of preloaded these into the chest. We're going to be extremely slow here. And you as well. Come on. Got some scaffolding, cobblestone, andesite, and shale. And then we can go into 3D printing. All you have to do, go into that screen again, printer on, and we'll start placing blocks. The red ones are ones where I've chiseled them and it doesn't like to render them properly. But if we go to this, say, can we place this now? Yeah, I'm just going to put solid blocks there because we'll chisel those eventually. You. The problem is these blocks are themselves structural. They're holding up some of the blocks inside the building. Okay, so is that like everything? Yeah, we can see some things are falling down inside. And it's okay, because eventually it'll have been built up enough that it'll support the blocks that aren't there. This is turning into a mess. There we go. So it's starting to build upwards a little bit now. And you can switch back and forth between creative and survival, but before you do, switch off your printer. Creative mode. And then we can, like, say, take our bricks. Can we get out of here? Go up a little bit. Finish placing these things. You. Till we've got them all. There's actually some inside as well, so we can break these. All the purple ones you can see instantly shouldn't be there. But these ones do need a block, so one there and there. There. That's the wrong one. You. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. You. Yeah, keep you. Okay, I think we're all right. And then we can just rinse and repeat. I'm just going to finish placing all of these blocks here, and then I'll show you the next little trick. Back in a second. Okay, so once you've gone around and placed all of your lumber, you're more or less finished. So we can check that you've done that by going into this, checking your materials again. If you scroll down, lumber, there you go. Shows we've used all of it. We've placed all of it now. Then you can just switch the printer on, and hopefully everything should just place. There we go. All this is done. You. The stairs are going to be wrong, but for the sake of this, it's fine. I definitely recommend placing those manually as well, but I'm not going to bother for this video. I'll definitely do that when I'm doing it in my own world. Let's go up. Voila! Lots of derpy stairs. But our structure is more or less complete. Is this placed? Oh, there we go. We've got the windmill blade as well. Let's clean up some of this stuff. Oh, this is a good example of why you don't want to place the lumber first. This is left over from a previous attempt. I can't place anything in these blocks. They look like there's nothing there, but this is showing that there actually is. So to remove it, place some lumber, break them, and then you can actually put stuff in the blocks again. That's how that works. Okay, so we've got this structure more or less here. But now we need to change it to a different type of stone. So we're going to change ours to schist. So I'm just going to clear my inventory. And I'm going to need a couple of things here. We're going to take advantage of another mod in the mod pack. We're going to get a Thaumium Boss Silverwood Wand, and we're going to get Wand of Equal Trade. Now, have I got this bound yet? Yeah, for me, if we hold down F for the focus, you can put the wand cap on. You might have to rebind that. I think there's a conflict with the F key by default, so do look into your settings for that if you're having trouble. And then we go schist. Put one of you down. Shift and right click to select that as the block. There we go, worked that time. And just go around, changing all of the blocks into what you want them to be. Really, really useful tool. Things like the fences, if you don't have hickory around, you want to use a different wood, by all means change those as well. There's not many of them. You might have an easier time just placing those by hand. Less done. That whole thing, nearly, can I get it? Should now pretty much be schist. Let's hide our schematic for a minute here. Yeah, much better. See, that's a stone I can build with. Maybe I'll change the stuff inside here as well. So I want some schist smooth stone. Schist cobblestone. Let's do the smooth stone. Oh, that's wrong. That's supposed to be more querns, so let's do those by hand. If I could spell. You and you are wrong. Quern. There we go. So that's right. You. Let's see. Raw schist as well. Oops. And there we go. It's ready for us to save it and build it in our world. So to save it, let's see if I can get the key. Yeah, there we go. Clear these out of the way. This is where the red and the blue points go. So let's see, where was it again? Yeah, if I say click on this, it's going to make the red point where I am. And then I'll go to the other bottom corner. And we'll do the blue point. So look at it, save the locations there. We should be able to see. Yeah, there we go. If we switch that to on, we can see the actual points there. So we want that red one can come in a little bit. It needs to be level with that point there. Is that right? Yep, so that's going to include that block. The blue one. Yeah, just make sure there's nothing sticking out. This one can come in a little bit. Like that. Yep, there we go. So the red point is at the highest point and also at the furthest in this direction. And also in this direction, it includes every one of those blocks. The blue one is kind of the opposite corner of that. There we go. It includes those base ones there. Go back into it, save that as windmill schist, save, and done. We can now pretty much auto build that structure in our single player world. So I hope that helped a little bit. Let's jump back into the actual world then. So yeah, I hope you guys found that useful. Hopefully it'll tide you over for a little while. I have a feeling I'm going to be at this for some time. This is actually my second trip to this cave. Well, node, I suppose. It's a cave now that I've dug it out. I'm going to need tons of this stuff. I still need to go and mine a bunch of graphite as well. Yeah, I'll be sure to show you the finished product once I've got all the materials I need. And then hopefully we can get to building. I'll convert the rest of my schematics as well, just to make it quicker to build, and then we'll be able to see some real progress in my little village. Alright, well, bye for now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.